We're now ready.
Now we're ready?
Yes.
Welcome to the Midwest Game Nerds podcast. I'm your host, John, and here with me today are Brian.
Hey.
And Alex.
Hello.
We have a lengthy letter from listener Tommy and a bunch of game news before we dive into Respawn's Apex Legends and the Division 2 private beta. But before we get to all of that, if you want to follow us on social media or see other places you can listen to or watch the show, check out MidwestGameNerds.com/links. The Midwest Podcast Network now is a Patreon. The Patreon is meant to benefit all the shows on the network. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month and help keep our shows alive and well. Check it out at
mpn.bz/Patreon.
Yeah, the much smaller URL
I'm
code.
really surprised I remembered that without thinking about it at all.
I put you on the spot.
You really did.
You looked a little
I was
surprised there.
I was like, am I saying the right thing as it's coming out of my mouth?
I'll write it down this time so I can say
That's
it
a good
next
idea.
time. Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you'll be giving to a different Patreon.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I know that's the domain I own, so if that didn't
Okay.
work. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And as always, much like Tommy's, we do appreciate your feedback as well, which you can send to MidwestGameNerds@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on Twitch as well as rate and review us on your favorite podcatcher. Alex, any bumpers for the network?
The Horror Movie Yearbook just put out an episode about The Lost Boys, the classic vampire flick from the 80s.
Yeah, I'm going to have to listen to that one.
I'm sure there's lots of talk about an oiled, shirtless Tim Capello playing a saxophone in the night.
Seems like a vampire thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if most of the runtime of that episode is about Tim Capello, but that's good. So, check out Horror Movie Yearbook, quality content.
Right on. Do you want to do feedback or what we've been playing?
Let's go with feedback first.
All right, cool. So here is the letter from Tommy. Hello, boys. Gladish's most recent feedback inspired me to get back into the email game. Congrats on your 100th episode. Cheers to 100 more. Speaking of the G-Man, he's definitely convinced me to get Vampire. I pronounce it Vampire because I'm a freaking nerd. I keep seeing it on Steam with a curious eye, and will certainly snag it once it's on some kind of sale. I don't have a most anticipated game, but I do want to try Metro Exodus and Resident Evil 2. The RE2 demo made me thirsty for more, and I really like the first two Metro games. Here are some bullet points. I have Bendy and the Ink Machine on the Switch. I got this game at GameStop a while ago because it looked different than what I usually play, and the art style looks fun. The game sucks. I'm not having fun with it. The controls are very stiff, the combat is clunky, and everything is yellow. So much yellow. The story has hints of BioShock in it, but that's hardly enough to keep my interest. I'll get through it someday, but not anytime soon. The one good thing about it is the very effective bendy jump scares. Who knew cardboard could be so frightening? Anthem. I think I'll pass on it for now until I hear great things. The bugs are ironed until I hear great things. The bugs are ironed out, and enough of the boys are playing it together. Since I can't be bothered to research anything online, the internet is a scary and terrible place. I thought I should ask you guys: is this a single-player game? It sounds like there's a campaign/story, but aren't you also playing with other people? Is there no PvP? We'll get into that. We'll answer his questions at the end here.
Yeah.
EA Part 2. I bought Mass Effect Andromeda on PS4 because it was on sale for $8. It's totally worth it. The game is a lot more fun than I expected, and the story is probably my favorite part so far. I like exploring, scanning, shooting, and the interspecies flirting in my video games, and this one serves them all. The story is cool so far because everything is shrouded with a balanced amount of mystery. I play the other Mass Effects and love them all, so I have an idea of where the story is going, but the smaller details in between the story have me reading the logs, helping folks, and making Andromeda great again. The glitches, or quote-unquote features, as we call them in the industry, are hilarious, and the facial animations can be terrifying at times. The dialogue is wince-worthy. It makes me wish Joss Whedon never became popular. All that aside, I'm having a blast with this game and will continue as far as my attention will allow me. Your little Star Wars games, in the words of Kylo Ben. I think he meant Kylo Ren, but he said Kylo Ben.
Sure.
But his name is Ben. I mean, it does work.
He
Yeah.
probably said it on purpose.
It's time to let old things die. Snoke, Skywalker, the Sith, the Jedi, the Rebels, let it all die. And then you'll reply with, but Tom, what about the open world Jedi Academy and my Boba Fett spinoff? It's all EA's fault. Making games shouldn't be this complex. Can't they just make a good game? Kylo Ben, no. You're still holding on. Let go. And finally we go back to Destiny or Siege and forget the whole thing ever happened. I have a ton more stuff to say, but I imagine John is sweating and tripping over every other word. Sorry, buddy. So I'll wrap it up. I haven't gotten around to Red Dead Online yet. Once I do, look out for this cowboy on Wednesdays. Keep up the great work, Tom. P.S. John, don't waste your money on Udemy. It's mostly a scam. There's a reason that all their courses are $150 but are always 90% off. You can get all this information and resources on YouTube, LinkedIn, Learning, and Stack Overflow. I found out the hard way.
Good to know.
Right on. So let's shoot back to that Anthem question. Okay, so Anthem is a co-op PvE game, essentially. There is no PvP at launch, but they may add it later on. So there is no competitive aspect other than just having better scores and stats than everyone else. At the end of every like excursion and thing that you go on, you do get scored with experience points. The people who do better get more points than everyone else, so that gives you some kind of competitive edge with your friends if you're playing with friends, or the blueberry that you're playing with otherwise. But yeah, I think it's all about just having cooler shit than the people you're playing with.
Well, and so part of his question is it a single-player game? It sounds like there's a campaign/story, but aren't you also playing with other people? You can play all of the missions solo if you wish. You cannot.
It's hard as fuck solo. Like it legitimately, like you can get easily swarmed by enemies if you're playing by yourself, and to a point where you don't know how to keep up. That does happen. You also get bonuses for playing with other people. If you pair up with partners and friends or whatever, you get experience bonuses, you get better loot, the whole bit. So
there is matchmaking for it too, so it will throw you in with a group of other people if you don't have a group of people that are playing it necessarily.
Yeah.
But
unless you're doing a raid, then there's no match. Oh no, wait, that's a different game.
the raids do have matchmaking in there.
So, and the thing is, I don't think the demo, like, you got to talk to maybe 3 people in the social area, right?
This time around, yeah, like for the demo,
For
there
the
were like
demo.
3 or 4
So
people.
it was hard to get a good feel for like what really will be story, but there's certainly a story there, and like the gameplay itself gave me very heavy Mass Effect vibes, so I think it'll be something he would like. But
The dialogue
know.
is actually good.
if he could get
I
through Mass Effect Andromeda, I think he will like Anthem. Unless maybe they patched a different story into Mass Effect Andromeda. I don't
make
know.
it
I
better.
haven't checked in 4 years or whatever.
Yeah.
I would
it
say
came
the
out.
combat is actually Andromeda's strong point.
Yes, yeah, and I think Anthem takes a lot
Yeah.
from that.
Anthem
too.
feels better. It's just more fluid feeling.
Yeah,
The flying mechanic's pretty awesome.
yeah.
Feels a little wonky on a mouse. We figured out why, but
Tom, since you have a PC that you play on, just note that we will most likely be all playing on PC.
yes.
And Brian and I have the EA Origin Premium access, which is $100 a year. And if you think about it, if you spend if you buy 2 games made by EA, you're spending like $120 a year. So take that $20 cut bonus and invest in the premium, and you can play anything that EA releases all year long for free, essentially. Well, not free, you pay whatever. But
So,
you basically pay for one ultimate edition of a game, and you get to play everything EA has made.
If that Jedi Fallen Order game comes out this year, you might get it.
Yeah.
But maybe not.
The Vault-
However, you can also just pay $15 for a month of it, which is what I'm going to do. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I'll put it down. Maybe pay another $15 if that Jedi Fallen Order game comes out. But
The Vault, the backlog of software that they give you for free to use while you're signed up is pretty awesome too.
yeah, and I think the Burnout remaster's in there.
Yep.
It's got
and
that. It has all the Madden and FIFA games.
Dead Spaces.
Dead Space. It has Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Yep.
All
Pillars of
the
Eternity.
Mass Effect games,
Yep.
including Andromeda.
Yeah,
Dragon's Age. All the Dragon's Age games are in there.
Yeah.
yeah. So
It has an
there's a lot of
elaborate
value.
catalog in getting this premium access. Plus, you get access to betas and things like, we got into the private beta before the public one went out, so
Yeah.
that was cool.
yeah. Or the other thing is they also have the $10 per month tier, which gives you 10 hours of any new game that comes out.
I thought it's like $5 a month.
I think it's $10.
I think it's $5. I'm gonna look it up.
I'm pretty sure it's 5. Yeah.
I don't-
Or 30 for a year.
If 30 for a year, I don't know. I don't think that's the case. I think it's 60 for a year or $10 a month. Or something like that. Anyway, there's a lower tier which gives you 10-hour trials of the games before they even come out. I think you'll get a 10-hour trial of Anthem on the 15th with all of the premium people. And then it also gets you discounts on stuff that you purchase through Origin as well. So,
the Titanfall games are in there as well.
yeah. So you could play some Titanfall. Titanfall 2 has seen a little bit of a resurgence.
It's $5 a month for the regular plan. Like
Really?
the
And
basic.
you
yeah.
still get access to the Vault.
You get
right?
access to
Most of it.
I'll go back. It's $5 a month or $30 per year. And let me click back.
I thought it was 10.
Why did
No,
I
because I
miss
used to do it on Xbox.
I used to do it on. That's what I played Andromeda through, and they
Uh-huh.
gave you actually like 45 minutes.
They
of
did.
Story.
They have changed it. You get 10-hour trials of any upcoming early access to upcoming games. 10-hour trials. an evolving collection of games. Currently, 176 are available to basic members, and 183 are available to premium members, and you get 10% off all Origin purchases.
Yeah, so there's options to not pay full price for Anthem if you wanted to jump in with it. Because John,
for
Brian,
$5 a
and
month-
myself will probably be playing this game quite a bit from the 15th onward. But after that, who knows? We'll have to see what they do.
For $5 to get 10 hours access, like, to the game, which is what you would probably get out of it with a normal working schedule and renting a game for $5.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
it would be worth it to just give it a shot. So that's our recommendation. I think the game's cool enough that I would love to play it with other people. So, I'm a fan. I can't wait. We get to play it next week.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm not going anywhere for Valentine's Day.
Although I'll
Me neither. I guess
I'll
I'll be
be-
playing Anthem.
I'll be
Yeah.
playing Crackdown 3 if it is indeed a video game. I might
Does
boot
that
it
come
up.
out that day too?
Oh yeah, it's on Xbox Game Pass day 1 on the 15th.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. I bought Game Pass when it was on sale over Christmas break.
And then you sold your Xbox.
Yeah, but I was like, there's a bunch of PC games on here. There's not that many PC games.
It's all the first party stuff. It's all the Forza games
The-
which you already
well,
bought.
no,
for
it's
some
not
reason.
though. That's why I'm really pissed.
It
For,
should
Forza
be.
7 isn't on there, and I was counting on it being on there when I was selling my Xbox.
That's weird. I
because
thought
I
it
still wanted
was.
to play it.
But
No,
anyway.
but Horizon 3 and 4 are on there.
Crackdown will be on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it is a
Okay.
game, it might just be a movie when you boot it up.
Well,
They did get Terry Crews. Maybe it's just a 2-hour visual experience.
I'm signed up for that.
That's good.
So,
For a 2-hour Terry Crews visual experience.
I mean, that seems worth it.
I was
It's
gonna look
just him
something up.
flexing his pecs in your
Pre-
face
pretty
for like
much.
2 hours.
In that Crackdown costume
Yeah.
that they gave him.
Screaming occasionally.
yelling at you inspirationally.
I
Maybe
probably-
riding a
I
horse.
might enjoy that more than the actual game.
What if you're just using the joysticks to like tweak his pecs?
It's like the Mario 64
Where you
start
can
screen
like
where you can
move his
mo-
face
yeah.
and stuff, but it's
Terry
Terry
Crews'
Crews'
pecs.
pecs.
So if you move it in a circle, his nipple just goes around.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you can pinch and then like pull and like drag around.
Yeah. I mean, that seems worth the money to me.
I don't know.
That sounds more-
I don't think Terry Crews would appreciate that. He had that whole like Me Too thing.
Who
going
knows?
on.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was something he knowingly entered into.
I
and
just know
wanted
I
to-
wouldn't want Terry Crews to kick my ass.
Oh
No.
yeah, that's true.
So, what have you got? What are you looking at? You got other stuff?
I don't know. I thought I had a thing I was looking up, and then I was talking. So
Did
I
Nick
can't
send you
remember.
secret feedback?
No, not right now.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Sneaky bastard.
I've been playing some stuff.
What have you been playing?
I beat Resident Evil 2 with Leon and Claire since
Oh,
last
both?
week. Yes.
Oh shit! I thought you only beat it with one.
No, so I got through it with Leon. I stayed up until 4 in the morning last night to
Oh,
beat it with
shit.
Claire. Yeah. So it was rough. The Claire second run. So the way the game works, I don't know if I said this or not last time. Originally, the first game came with 2 discs. There was one for Leon and one for Claire, and you could start the game with either one. And then after you beat it, you could go back and play a B run with the other character, which was supposedly what the other character was doing while you were playing the first part of the game.
Yeah.
It kind of works that way here. They don't do as good of a job of like making the 2 runs complement each other. There are some places where you fight the same boss and it doesn't quite make the same sense
Okay.
because you're doing it in the same area and stuff like that. But there are also some exclusive bosses on either side as well. So that's cool. But no, that game's fantastic. It's really good. Everybody should play it.
I would like to play it.
The one thing I think I forgot to talk about last time was that the map in the game is fantastic because it will tell you, it'll shade a room blue if you've gotten all the items and everything out of it, but it will shade a room red if there's still something for you to do in it.
Interesting.
If you go up to a door and you can't open it because it's like one of the suited keys, like a club or heart or diamond key, or like there's chains around it, it will document on the map what kind of door it was so that you can come back to it later and you don't have to like search for it.
Right.
If you see an item, like if you look at an item and know it's there, it will put it on the map, and even if you don't pick it up, so you will know, oh, I have shotgun shells sitting in this room if I really want to go back and get them, like if your inventory is full or something like that.
Yeah.
So the map is fantastic.
That is really cool, but I'm guessing the original game didn't have that.
It didn't do any of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, in some ways that can be part of the fun. Is that an option you can turn off?
Potentially. I don't know if in the hardcore map So there's 3 tiers. There's assisted, normal, and hardcore. And in hardcore,
The hardcore map's just a crude drawing in sand.
yeah, no,
Yes.
yeah, you have to draw it yourself
Yeah.
with the trackpad on the PS4. No,
Oh God, I forgot that thing existed.
so the normal mode, Resident Evil's pretty famous. The first few for saving with typewriters, and
Yeah.
you used to have ink ribbons.
Right.
Well, that's not true in the normal mode, but in the hardcore mode, you do have to find ink ribbons. So that's fun. But on top of that, maybe they change how the map works in that too. I'm not sure. But no, it's quite good. The other thing I was going to say, there's a lot of quips when your characters are aiming at zombies where they're just disgusted by what the zombies look like. Or like Leon will be like, oh, fuck. And like Claire's just like, ugh. And like all the, and they just kind of, they'll keep going a little bit as long as you're like aiming at one of them. And it's really funny to like. I almost laughed every time Leon would say like comment on the.
No, that's really unique because normally there's just like this like scream of terror from like
Yes.
characters, and you know it's a pretty common trope in like any zombie movie. Like rarely do they actually like take the time to look at it and be like, oh my god, that's
Yes.
disgusting.
No, so it's really unique and funny.
That's awesome.
and good. I thought it was quite good. But no, it's great. I don't know if I'll put too much more into it. I know there's 2 other characters you can play as if you unlock everything.
Ada?
No, Hunk and Tofu
Okay.
are the 2. Hunk is like an umbrella agent, and he has like a strict time limit on his scenario, I believe. You
Okay.
have to get through the game in like under 4 hours, I think.
That's interesting.
I got through it in, I think, 8 and then 6. 8 with Leon, 6 with Claire.
Oh, your time is improving.
The other one is Tofu.
There's a
So-
block of tofu.
He's literally a block of tofu.
He sits in the fridge
And
for 8 hours.
In the original game, you could only get a knife with him. So you could only knife the zombies if you wanted to fight them at all. So in this one, because the knives are expendable, like they have durability to them, you get an inventory full of knives, I think. And the other thing that I just learned was that it was a block of tofu because they were testing the collision detection
Was it really
in the
a block of
original
tofu?
game. Yes, it is literally like a human-sized block of tofu.
I thought that was a joke.
And it was like when the game first came out, originally people were like, oh man, this is a funny, weird thing. But then like apparently in the intervening years, they revealed like, oh yeah, we needed a box that would represent the hitbox for the character so that we could understand
and then they made a model.
when the zombies would actually attack. So we just made it this white block and it kind of looked like tofu. So we called it tofu.
Gladish wants a tofu speed run.
God. I never even played Tofu in the original game, so I should do it for this one, but you have to beat the 4th survivor
You
mode.
should
the
stream
Hunk
that.
Mode. I should. Other than that, I did buy Wargroove.
I heard it was super buggy.
I haven't had many bugs in it, but
Okay.
I've only played like maybe 5 or 6 missions, which tend to be up to a half an hour long.
Each?
Even longer than that, yeah. Like apparently they
Damn,
get
that's some
longer.
like Shining Force shit.
Well, here's the thing. It is much more Advance Wars than it is Shining Force or Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
So you have like one commander that is your like character unit that you follow in the story. And then in the maps, you can use a barracks to like pay gold to get knights and archers and pikemen and you know, different.
Like a traditional strategy game.
Yes, so it's a little bit more like that. Your units have health. If they get attacked, they will only be able to do damage proportionate to the health that they have. There's certain conditions which you can get critical attacks. So it's a strategy. It's a strategy like almost RPG kind of game, but it's got a little bit more of the, you know, traditional strategy game to it. So it's good. It just seems like it's going to get very hard, and there's not really checkpoints in the missions.
Yeah.
So you could get 45 minutes into a mission and find out that you're kind of screwed because they decided to throw some reinforcements at you or something like that. So
Yeah, and this is published by the company who did Stardew Valley.
no,
Right?
It's
Published,
Starbound,
not-
I think.
not
right?
Developed, I
Oh.
thought.
I'm not sure. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure Stardew Valley had something to do with it somewhere in there. But basically, like I think Kotaku had talked about how this company is basically going for the throat on all these
Oh.
old like Nintendo franchises.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So they did Starbound, Stardew Valley, and Wargroove.
Yeah.
Are there? They're 3.
So, which is kind of funny
And
I'd be
of
interested
Rain.
to see like what else they end up doing.
Yeah, they actually developed Starbound and Wargroove, and as you said, they published Stardew Valley.
Yeah,
so
because Stardew Valley was just one guy, I think.
yeah, if you are itching for an Advanced Wars style game, it certainly will scratch that itch.
And it's $20.
$20 on Switch. It's also on PC. I think it's coming to PS4 later. May or may not be on Xbox.
And isn't there? You can play against your friends, right?
I believe so.
Are
And
they doing crossplay
I think there's crossplay with everything right now.
currently?
Yes,
Okay.
but the PlayStation version isn't out. So
Yeah, because they don't want to play nice.
yeah,
They
who
play
knows?
somewhat nice, and then they get sassy.
Yes, exactly. So
Gladish says you should stream Resident Evil 2 in general. Just stream it.
you
Every
that's-
time you play, you should.
You know
stream.
what? That's the thing is I think they might have. I think they have some of it blocked. Like I think some
to,
of
prevent spoilers and
it.
stuff.
Yeah, so I'd have to circumvent it by changing things around. But yeah, I really should. It's a
Just
fun
point,
streaming game.
point your webcam at the TV.
that's
Yeah,
not
do
necessary.
it
Like,
Old school.
screener style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, I think that's about it.
Set up your handy cam in your coat jacket.
Make sure someone's shaking the webcam
Mhm.
occasionally.
I'll have people walk in front of the screen a couple times.
Mhm.
And screaming loudly
Yeah.
into the microphone.
Yeah.
Anything else,
No, I think that's it.
Brian?
I just had my Switch with me over this last weekend, so I played some more Diablo 3 on Switch. It
Right
works
on.
so good on Switch.
Yeah.
Like they changed how the inventory works and stuff, and like where the interface is and stuff to give you more room on the screen.
That's cool.
And
Is that different than the Xbox and PS4 version? Do you know or no?
from what I remember, I think it is
Okay.
different as far as the inventory and stuff goes.
'Cause
Like
there's
they did
certainly
further
less real estate.
improvements. Yeah. But it runs well. Like I haven't seen any sort of like slowdowns in it, so it's just
Nice.
more Diablo fun, but portable.
Can you play the PC version with a gamepad?
No.
No,
No?
they never patched that in. They did
And
not.
honestly, I went back and I played the PC version, and I think like it works really well on a controller, but I think I actually prefer the mouse a little more,
Yeah.
just because of like inventory stuff and whatnot, menus but yeah, it has like the same online functionality and stuff. Like you can play seasons and all that fun stuff.
That's awesome.
You can play adventure mode immediately instead of having to play all the way through the campaign, which is cool for people like me that have already played the game several times.
And what's the difference between adventure mode and the campaign?
It opens up the whole like the full maps for every act.
Okay.
And like there's locations, and you can just like warp to the locations like using the whatever they're called, I don't remember.
Okay.
And they will have like every day they have like different bounties on like certain monsters or certain objectives to complete, and you can get specific like crafting resources and stuff through that.
Interesting.
It's like an end game thing that they made up.
Just to
Like
keep,
that wasn't in the game at all when it launched
Okay.
originally.
but it was to kind of keep
Yeah.
people in the game. And
Yeah, like that and the seasons and stuff they've added over time. And the Nephilim rifts, which are like one-off dungeons that
Yeah.
are randomly generated. Those are pretty fun. Like I had one the other day that was all just like cow people attacking me. And it had
Sounds
this
good.
really weird like psychedelic banjo music.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's mindless fun though.
Can't
Like,
make money off the real money auction house anymore, though. That's not a thing. Right?
No, they
Yeah.
got rid of that for the better. Honestly,
Yeah.
the game was better after that.
I know there were some people that funded their Blizzard purchases using the real money auction.
Yeah,
house,
and
but-
other people felt like they had to buy shit from there because like loot didn't drop as much as it does now too.
Yeah.
What else did I play on the Switch? I played River City Ransom randomly because I had never played that Nintendo game.
I don't think I have either.
It kind of reminds me of like a shittier Streets of Rage.
I think that was the point.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's older,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's pretty much like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay.
That's good.
Right on.
Yeah, I think that's about it other than what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I haven't played anything other than like Solitaire
And of course,
How's that
Rainbow
going?
Six Siege.
and Siege, but
How's the
Solitaire,
DLC in Solitaire?
it's pretty awful.
Is there any? And what's the meta like?
The
A lot of people using the
it tracks
Knights
all of your
Kings.
game stats. Like I have like the Microsoft Solitaire on my iPad.
Yeah.
And it tracks all your game stats, and it's just kind of like disappointing when like you keep losing games and
Mhm.
it keeps stacking up, and then you're just
And
like,
then you're-
okay, so I have an 8% win rate.
You
like,
reset your stats.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. My high score I think was 5,773 in a match that took 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
There was a point in my teenage years where I was very cool, so I played a lot of solitaire, and I got to the point with Windows XP Solitaire where I was starting to get bugs. Like I would get dealt 3 black kings or 5 aces and things like that. Like it was very strange. I actually have screenshots of these on my PhotoBucket account still. Somehow.
Weird.
But yeah, it was really weird.
Right on.
You
Let's do
broke Solitaire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how, but I did. It's just like breaking Grand Theft Auto, which I've talked about.
I think random number generators are broken in general. So when the deck actually shuffles, like it doesn't
yeah.
shuffle naturally by any means.
No.
So, anyways, let's hit some news.
All right.
This was 2 weeks ago, roughly. Epic declared war on Steam today.
Well, but 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. Metro Exodus has jumped ship from Steam to the Epic Games Store, and I think it's $10 cheaper than people who had pre-ordered it on Steam.
Yeah.
And everyone on Steam who pre-ordered it is still able to get the game because they
Yeah,
pre-ordered
they're
it.
going to fulfill pre-orders, but you cannot
You don't-
purchase the game or pre-order it anymore
Yeah, and you can't get $10
on
discount.
Steam.
So the entire Steam community who had pre-purchased Metro Exodus is very, very unhappy. They review bombed it
Yeah,
hard.
sounds about right. Game's not out yet.
But the dev came out and said straight up that if it underperforms on PC, it just won't come out on PC for future releases. So
Yeah, and I think they walked it back a little bit because they were like, that was someone's opinion, but that's not the company's opinion or something like that. I don't know. Obviously, it's like, yeah, if a game doesn't do well, they have to reevaluate. But
I mean, the original Metro game, I believe, came out on PC long before it came out on any sort of consoles.
are you talking Metro 2033?
Metro 2033,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought
The
that was like an
first-
Xbox exclusive,
No.
like a 360 exclusive. But
what I know is, again, I think I've stated this in the past, that I'm kind of tired of having to have so many different accounts for different things all the fucking time. And I know it's good to have competition, and you as a consumer benefit from competition in the sense that the companies bring prices down and it's better for you, but it's also just highly inconvenient. And part of what made Steam so awesome, much like iTunes in the sense of convenience, is that everything was all in one spot. And I mean, when I bought my iPhone, the first iPhone, and I had iTunes on my iPhone, I was buying CDs regularly because it was so much more convenient to just hop on there, click purchase, than it was to go and try and BitTorrent it.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
it's not convenient to have to keep switching accounts and signing into this account or that account, and
You just got to use a password manager. That's your own fault.
I do use a password manager
How do you always forget your passwords?
because at times the Chrome has issues loading certain pages and things. I have to clear all my cookies and cache and everything, and it wipes out all the passwords.
Then you're not
That's
using
not
a
a
password
real
manager.
password manager.
You're using Chrome to manage your passwords.
Which is not very good.
Man, whatever. Anyways,
So, I mean, to me, I don't know. Maybe I've drank the Kool-Aid and I no longer care that I could have, like, I have the Twitch installer on my. Twitch has a storefront. In case
Yeah, I
you
have
know.
that.
I have that too.
because they
You
give
get
away free games.
Amazon Prime games through that, and
Good ones,
You got
too.
you got the Epic Store, you got your Origin and your Uplay and your Steam. There's the Bethesda one that I'm sure I'll end up getting when Fallout 7 comes out.
I have that too.
it's, I don't know. It's a shitty future we live in, but you know what? It's like people say, competition is good. This right now, it's good that A4 or the Metro developer, I think that's their name. It's good that they have the competition to go to another store in order to force Steam to be better at actually giving good payouts on the games and things like that. Like, I think eventually it's a good thing. Like, I think in the long run it will be better for everybody that there are different things. But at some point somebody I buy games on PlayStation that I can only get on PlayStation, so I gotta have a PlayStation. At least in this case, you can have one PC that can have access to all of these stores.
Right.
If I could play my Xbox and have access to Steam and Origin and all of that stuff, that would be sweet. That's not the case, but with the PC, at least you have one machine that can access games from all of these different providers, rather than like EA's got a console and Ubisoft's got a console and Google's got their Streambox and like all of that type of stuff. So
right.
In the end, I think it's a force for good. There might be some growing pains, but
why don't you just save your password, like click the remember me thing, so it just auto logs in?
Some Origin's really bad with that.
Yeah, I do, but it doesn't always stay logged in or whatever. It doesn't always remember.
Yeah, it sometimes it kicks you, but yeah. So there was this really weird message on the Steam store for Metro that said, "Notice later today, sales of Metro Exodus will be discontinued on Steam due to a publisher decision to make the game exclusive to another PC store. The developer and publisher have assured us that all prior sales of the game on Steam will be fulfilled on Steam, and Steam owners will be able to access the game and any future updates or DLC through Steam. We think the decision to remove the game is unfair to Steam customers, especially after a long pre-sale period. We apologize to Steam customers that were expecting it to be available for sale through the February 15th release date, but we were only recently informed of the decision and given limited time to let everyone know." So, very weird situation, but man, we're seeing a lot of articles that are just like, this is going to be exclusive to Epic, and that's weird. Maybe all you'll need to have is an Epic Store account, John.
I don't know, man. It's just dumb.
Yeah. Well,
does the Epic Store even have a launcher, or is it all through the web?
No, it's got a launcher. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you had to use the downloader to bring out, like, you download Fortnite, and
I downloaded Subnautica or whatever, and I don't have an Epic launcher. It just downloaded Subnautica for free.
What?
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
It's running in the background, probably. You don't even
it's
notice.
just like his Uplay situation.
Probably.
But I don't know. There is an Epic game launcher that you would use to download Fortnite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since you probably didn't play Fortnite on your PC.
I think you did.
For like 2 seconds.
Then it's on there.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, next story.
Yep.
The Xbox One console exclusive revealed, launches day one on Game Pass this year.
Also exclusive to Epic on PC.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about this is that the title of the game isn't in the title for the news story.
What is the game?
It's called Operencia: The Stolen Sun.
I think you posted this.
I posted it.
Oh, did you?
Because I found it interesting that there's an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, so this is...
It's going to be similar to Wizardry and the Bard's Tale and Eye of the Beholder, so some form of like dungeon crawling D&D-esque sort of game.
Cool.
Which I know you're into, Brian.
I
so.
believe it was revealed during the Kind of Funny Games Studio showcase. Is what I believe I remember. This isn't loading, so we're never gonna watch
the trailer doesn't exist.
Let's try and open it up on YouTube. So no, it looks cool. It's got a very cool visual style. Graphics look very nice. It seems. Oh, I don't know what's going on though. It looks like
it is a first-person grid-based.
It reminds me
RPG.
of Legend of
Grimrock.
Grimrock.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Or
kind of.
Not Kingsfield necessarily, but yeah. I mean, the original Eye of the Beholder was like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
That looks cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty neat.
Very cool
So
graphical. Like it just looks very pretty.
it's also going to be on the Xbox Game Pass, I believe.
Yeah, that's what it said at the top.
As long as I can play the PC version through that, that'd be great.
Said it in the title.
Oh yeah,
doesn't
that's true.
doesn't give you the title of the game, but it tells you it'll be in the Game Pass.
So that's neat.
All the pertinent information.
A reason to own an Xbox, maybe.
It's
Unless
interesting
it
to
comes
see.
out on PC, yeah.
Well, I mean, Legend of Grimrock was pretty cool. I don't know if you ever played that, but it's usually on sale for like Steam sales.
I think I own it, but I don't think
I have it. So if you if you didn't, like, you could play it on my stuff. But it's cool to see, like, it's a very old school throwback to those kind of games.
Yeah.
But with like next gen graphics.
Well, when it popped up all of those enemies on screen with life bars, like standing in front of you, like you're fighting, like in a.
Well, they had the party. Your party's on the
Yeah.
right hand side. It had a timeline of whose attack is coming up next on the left side.
As he was moving around the world, I didn't really notice the people on the right side,
Mhm.
but then in the battle screen, I was like, "Oh man, that's like an actual like
like
active time battle, turn-based." Yeah,
RPG.
yeah.
It's cool because those games were like that. They had that sort of like active ATB system like Final Fantasy did, but then it also had adventuring aspects, much like Myst or those point-and-click adventure games. So yeah, they're cool. I'm excited.
Legend of Grimrock was hard. I
It's a
didn't get
really
very
fucking
far in
hard
that
game. Yeah, it's cool though. It's like every playthrough seemed different because I think it's all randomly generated.
Yeah.
Like,
Interesting.
I hope this game's actually a little easier to get into.
We
But
shall
I
see
do like that style.
yeah,
later this year.
we'll give it a shot.
All right.
Brian, this was yours.
Yeah, this was weird, so I thought it was worth talking about. Fortnite had an in-game Marshmello concert.
And
Which
the
is-
Kotaku article says, and it was actually pretty great.
Yes, one of the which Kotaku?
This
guy
was
it?
Riley McLeod.
Yeah, he attended
be only
in-game
one.
apparently, and gave his impressions on it. And I don't know, it sounded pretty wild. Like basically, I guess there was a certain time during the game where, like a certain event you could join.
Yeah, it was called. There was
from
like
the
a
menu.
Showtime mode.
Yeah,
I think was
yeah.
the game mode
Was
that
it-
was available.
A certain mode. You could join. Weapons were disabled because I think in previous times when they tried stuff similar to this, they were not disabled, and people
would
screwed
die.
it
Yeah.
screwed it up for everyone. Yeah, I can't say I really care about Marshmello, but
Yeah, I don't.
I
know
like
that I've-
this concept. It's interesting to me. I hope they kind of do more of it.
Well, now that gamers don't ever want to leave or go anywhere or do anything, much
Millennials don't want to leave,
myself,
supposedly.
Well, and it also.
what I
well, they
read.
can't afford to do anything because
Well-
we don't have any money. So, like, our concerts are all going to be shown through Fortnite. from
You're
now on.
also the main age group for Fortnite is well below the group of people that would be able to get into a club that Marshmallow's playing, probably, right? But now he's got
this
a
way
shitload of fans
they
that
can
are all
steal their parents' opioids and do those at home, and then watch a concert on their TV while they OD.
Sounds great, John.
We don't condone that sort of
Marshmallow
thing.
actually listed Pleasant Park on his tour schedule. Pleasant
That's
Park was
ridiculous.
the location in the Fortnite world that he played. It said United States, but didn't have an actual city and state on it. So, no, I think it's cool. I think it's red. Some of there's a gift down here. Yeah, it looked like.
So he's a DJ, right?
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
DJ.
yeah.
So he just got on Fortnite and plugged in his headset or his MacBook Pro to his headset microphone and hit play.
Well, and the cool.
And he probably got paid an obscene amount of
Oh,
money
yeah.
to do that.
Oh yeah, but the other thing is he also he did interact with the crowd a little bit. Like the article says, he was asking people to like do their favorite emotes or clap and like stuff like that. So it seemed like he was probably there doing something as much as he does at a concert as a DJ. No offense to anybody who's a DJ out there, but
Oh, full offense for sure.
the views of John Morrell do not. Anyway, but it just seemed like a cool experience for everybody to have, and I think it would be fun. What if they like premiered some movie or something that everybody could go watch in a big drive-in on Fortnite, or like things like that? Like that kind of thing always seemed like it could be really
Independent
cool.
movie releases in Fortnite.
Yeah, it's entirely
Drive your
possible.
shopping cart up, park in it.
Yep.
I feel like when VR is more widely adopted, this kind of thing will be awesome.
Yeah, I
and there
remember
are
they were
some
like,
things on Steam that do that. Like there's this, I think it's called the Wave or something. I downloaded. I never tried it out, but they have scheduled like electronic music, like
Cool.
concert things, and you go in VR and just like hang out there.
Well,
and
there's the other, the promise of the Oculus, I think, like one of the non-PC connected Oculi was the idea that you would be able to pay money to have a front row seat at a basketball game and things like that. Like
I just imagine there being like one of those robot things.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, it's
in your place.
Jack Nicholson sitting next to like a 70 camera array that's on a stick. You can look next to him, and he's just staring at.
It's actually just a Johnny 5 unit.
That's good. But no, I mean, I think there could be really cool VR stuff. Fortnite VR. You heard it here first.
Sweet. Next,
Yep.
Microsoft wants to bring Xbox Live cross-platform gaming to Android, iOS, Nintendo Switch, and more.
Good for them.
They announced this a while ago, but they're actually releasing the dev kit for this stuff in the next month or so.
Yeah, I think this got kind of scraped from a GDC announcement that then went blank after somebody noticed it on the internet. And you already have to log into Minecraft on your Switch through Xbox Live. So it is kind of a thing that's in some kind of function. But
it just says "and more." I don't see PlayStation on there.
Yeah, not yet, but you know, it seems interesting. Like, I guess the idea here is that okay, it brings your friends list along. You can get achievements for Switch games and iOS games and things like that. You know, because the Game Center on iOS never really hit, and that was meant to be something similar. But yeah, the GDC scheduling website had a thing that said Xbox Live is one of the largest, most engaged gaming communities on the planet with decades of experience providing managed game services to developers that save time and unlock all the social and engagement features that players love. Now Xbox Live is about to get much bigger. Xbox Live is expanding from 400 million gaming devices and a reach of over 68 million active players to over 2 billion devices with the release of our new cross-platform XDK. Get a first look at the SDK to enable game developers to connect players between iOS, Android, and Switch in addition to Xbox and any game in the Microsoft Store or on Windows PCs. So, Microsoft is pretty serious about moving their game services beyond the Xbox, which is a very forward-thinking thing. Something that could allow them to leap past Sony when we get to a world where the Sony device is actually just a window to play into their streaming service or whatever it's going to be.
I'm kind of wondering, with all these cross-platform moves they're trying and actually making. I wonder if they're just going to get out of the hardware business entirely.
I thought about that the other day when this article popped up. Like it feels like they're just ready to like, okay, we're not selling the units we need to sell, so let's, much like Sega, I think, did the same sort of thing. They were like, we're not selling the units, but we're selling the games. People still want to play these games.
Yeah.
So I think they may be taking a similar back seat and just letting, other hardware developers, ride the wave.
It's kind of crazy to me that this would happen to the people who put out the Xbox 360 rather than, the Wii U,
Yeah.
Like everybody was saying this about Nintendo, and Nintendo
that
hasn't.
they would be dead, but now they have the highest
Yeah.
hardware sales.
So it's a very volatile industry, clearly, but
yeah.
No, I think it's interesting. You see it in the decisions that they made. They've had like they've had several big game show announcements of like, we've acquired 5 studios. Here's all of them. Like that's happened several times in the past couple of years.
Right.
So the idea that you would be able to pay $10 a month to get the Xbox Game Pass on a Nintendo Switch is kind of awesome. Like, wouldn't that be nuts?
And just think like, if they're making all these acquisitions of studios, maybe they just want to get into publishing, so they're still making money, but they don't have to do any of the work.
Well, and that's the thing. Like
they get all the oversight they want to have, and they do a little bit of spending, but they get to reap the same rewards as if they were developing.
Rather than making it so that you can sell Xbox Game Pass to just people with PCs and Xboxes, what if you could sell it to people with iOS people
Right.
with Android. You can make so much more money, and you are not limited by that expensive console sale up front.
Right.
One small related thing that I remember reading is they changed Microsoft Studios to Xbox Studios recently.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't know if that really helps my theory that they might get out of the hardware business, but who knows? I mean, an Xbox could be any box you have, you know, and like, bam, Microsoft shit lives in it, you know.
Maybe that's part of their new business model, is that any box you have is an Xbox. Like, that's a very yeah. And changing over from Microsoft Studios to Xbox Studios makes sense. If they wanted to detach the Microsoft name from it in some way to make it be its own thing, like, I get that.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want people to associate it necessarily with Microsoft directly.
Yeah, I don't think it really benefits them for like people thinking about their frustrations with Windows and like Office or something. I don't think anybody's ever frustrated with Office really, but like,
have you ever tried to do a mail merge?
Oh no, that sounds awful though.
That was a joke for literally 0.0001% of people out there.
I mean, I know what you're talking about, but I haven't tried it.
It's not fun. Anyway.
It seems unsafe. We don't recommend trying that at home.
No, yeah, it makes sense. It's cool. It's an interesting future, and God, wouldn't that be crazy if E3 next year, Microsoft is just like, hey, we're the only ones here, and guess what? There's no more Xbox. You all have an Xbox in your pocket right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone pull out your phone.
Yeah.
We're gonna force feed you a new Xbox app that you're gonna love.
Keep your Xbox One controller, but get rid of your Xbox One because you can hook it up to your iPhone and play all of our games.
Yeah.
Like,
that'd be incredible.
That'd be nuts.
Especially if they figured out compression in the sense that it actually makes, like, you know.
Supposedly they have.
And it's there. I mean,
that Pied Piper shit.
Playing PlayStation Now and things like that works when you have a really robust internet connection.
But not everybody has that. So if it's going to benefit anybody, like, they need to figure out how to make it so it's actually usable for people who don't have good internet.
Well, I mean, like, Microsoft has been working on their own streaming stuff too.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt that they're going to do a better job of it than Sony is. They're good at, like, hardware and network engineering and stuff, and
they certainly have a more software-based infrastructure than nobody's buying Sony Vegas or whatever anymore, except for Corey when I told him to buy it because he wanted a video editor. But it, like, the fact that Microsoft has all of this experience in network infrastructure and things like that gives them so much more experience to be able to build something than rather Sony, who's like, we had to acquire Gaikai and all these other things in order to get that stuff off the ground. So it makes sense.
Have more, like, server resources and stuff too.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can tell when I download a game from Xbox Live and it takes like no time, and my Sony games take all damn day.
Well, because they have to prepare to download.
Oh yeah, and then when they
unpack the download.
I installed the 16 gigabyte Resident Evil remake version on PS4 last night in less than 10 minutes. So I don't know what you guys are talking about.
You also have a fiber.
Yeah, but it
connection.
also means that Sony has the infrastructure to serve me. So
I don't have
have
shitty internet, and it still doesn't work well.
You also get your updates automatically downloaded when your PS4 is in
Maybe you guys
rest
just
mode.
need to say good words about Sony on our podcast, and they'll serve you properly.
Sony can suck my balls.
All right,
next. Switch games are finally getting proper voice chat thanks to Vivox. I don't know, but they're the guys who make Fortnite's in-game chat, and they're releasing the SDK for other developers to use, which is awesome because apparently that voice chat works really, really well. You can just plug in a headset and it works. You don't need a fucking dongle.
Yeah.
You don't need to link your cell phone to it or anything. It just works.
It kind of just makes me mad that this isn't part of the Switch then.
Well, it's part of the...
If it's clearly possible.
What I would love on Switch is Discord. Like, just give me Discord.
I mean, I would
Switch.
love Discord on all my consoles.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
Because then I could just pop in a Discord chat channel with anybody on any platform.
Yeah, like they made the steps for that to kind of be a thing on Xbox, and it hasn't gone fully that way yet.
It probably will, though.
This still doesn't fix the fact that if I want to play Splatoon 2 with you guys in a team, I can do that.
That's the other game I played over the weekend.
That's good.
I revisited that. There's some differences with it, but
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, there's been a lot of.
Yeah.
They updated still a lot.
but it's still fun.
And it still has that overly awesome Japanese music.
Yes, the music's still awesome.
and a great app experience for you to chat with your friends while you
No,
play the game.
Yeah.
I just played with strangers.
But yeah,
No.
anyways, it's this is cool. This
Well,
is a
no,
good-
that's the weird thing about it was that people figured out if you played a local game, I think.
like on the same Switch or
No, like
ad hoc?
you were playing ad hoc. You could hook up a headset just like this with Splatoon 2, and it's the only way you can do it, which is weird because you'd all be in like the same room anyway. Or
Interesting,
something.
yeah.
It was something like that. I might be misremembering it a little bit, but no, it would be great.
Could you imagine having like 8 people in a room playing ad hoc without the headsets, and that music is just pouring out of 8 tinny speakers, like
All
just
of them like milliseconds off from each other, so,
piercing your
yeah.
ears? It's like a chorus of Nintendo Switches.
I think this is good. It's weird. It must mean that like if the developer wants to support it server side, it's a lot easier than supporting it client side on the Switch itself, right?
Well,
Like
yeah,
that's got to be
like-
what's going on.
But they just need to make Discord work on the Switch in the background.
But I think that's what the problem is they don't have the processing power to do that and play your game and have a battery life longer than 5 minutes, probably.
How is it any different than this?
Because this is all going like.
I mean,
all
I know
of-
it's all through the game at the same
all
time.
of the
but-
audio stuff must be handled by the servers of Fortnite or Vivox. Their SDK or whatever is
Right.
handling all of that processing of the voice, which is why it sounds worse when you use game chat rather than using like a party system on PlayStation or a Discord
Well, I don't know
server.
how bad does it sound on Fortnite. I haven't tried it.
I
so-
always think the voice chat sounds bad on like in games, but like even in Destiny, it always sounds like garbage to me unless you get into a PlayStation party. Like that's typically my experience, but I think that's because it's all of the processing's happening on the server, and then it comes down to you so that you don't have to do all of that work on the console itself,
right.
right? And that must be what's allowing the Switch to do it in these cases.
Gotcha.
But I don't know.
Anyways, exciting.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
Promising for the future of the Switch.
Sea of Thieves has a free trial February 6th until the 16th.
I think it's all the way through February.
No, so starting February 6th, there's a promotion that allows current Sea of Thieves owners and Xbox Game Pass subscribers to invite up to 3 friends to play the game for free. That's for the week, I believe.
Yeah.
But if you redeem one of those passes, you can also get a 35% discount on the game until February 27th.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah, I just wanted to put this out there in case anyone wants to play. I do own the game, so you can ask me personally.
You own it
I
too?
can
I
invite
do as
you.
well, yes.
I've got Game Pass, so we can give it to 9 people if you want.
If you
Sea of
wanna try.
Thieves, if
Anybody
you wanna
has a-
try it
For
out.
a week.
A PC or an Xbox.
We're not going to play it with you. We'll just give you the code.
I'll
just
play.
kidding. We'll
I
hop on and
believe
play a little bit.
This coincides with the launch of the newest
Gladish wants
DLC that
Cool.
is a PvP specific area called the
the arena, yeah.
So that's not currently announced yet, but it was supposed to launch early this year. So maybe it will happen like
Okay.
before the end of February. Maybe not.
Yeah,
don't know.
I was explaining because this popped up while I was at work, and I was talking to Josh, and he was like, "So what is this game like?" And I was like, "If you want to be a troll, this is the game for
Yeah.
you. This is
Yeah.
the best game for trolling anyone and everyone." So he seemed to really want to give it a shot. So I'll be throwing him a code. Gladish says he's in, so we'll have to throw him
Cool.
a code.
It's definitely one of the most unique gaming experiences you can have.
It
Yeah.
is fun
It's-
as fuck. Like
In no other game can you run around somebody with a hurdy-gurdy playing any song
Yeah.
and annoy the hell out of them.
it's
That's
amazing.
my favorite thing to do.
Shooting your friends out of cannons.
That
Yeah.
alone is worth $59.99.
We'll have to get Gladish a code today so he can get it downloaded. I
Sure.
don't know how long. I think it's only, what do we say, like a week?
Yeah, so
Well,
it'll be
once you
till the-
activate it, I believe it's a week from that day.
Oh, but okay, I got you.
Well, no, I think you can get the codes this week. So how long can they play? I don't
think
know.
the codes you can get from the 6th all the way up to the 27th.
No, so it's starting February 6th, Rare and Microsoft will offer a week-long promotion that allows Sea of Thieves owners and Xbox Game Pass subscribers to invite up to 3 friends to play the game.
It's a little poorly
Any
worded.
player who redeems the code for the free week. So, yeah, you probably get to play the game for a free week, but
Yeah.
I don't know. And then you can purchase it after that up
Okay.
until the 27th. So you may only get 7 days. At this point, you may only get 4 days. We're not sure.
Friends Play Free is live for the next 3 days, 15 hours, 57 minutes, and 3 seconds.
Okay, so it was up until the 13th.
Whoops.
But at least if we give you this code, you'll be able to buy it if you like it, and you'll have a little bit of time to try it out.
Right.
So that's cool. Sea of Thieves continuing to be in the news, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, 2 more stories.
Activision Blizzard employees brace for massive layoffs. So,
I don't feel like this writing was on the wall. Like, yeah, they've been doing weird stuff, but, like, has there been anything that really made us think, like, oh, they're going to fire everybody?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what to expect from them anymore.
Like, what are these people working on? Is this, it's not the Call of Duty team, right?
Well, some of it they could explain. It made sense to me. Like there's a lot of staff on hand that was working on
Interface Bungie people?
like social stuff for
Okay.
Bungie and all that. But I mean, that are obviously not employed by Bungie. They were employed by Activision Blizzard, and they're not needed anymore because Bungie is separating from them, and they're going to be taking care of all that stuff themselves.
Yeah.
However, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to not read this article and just think that people are being greedy
Yeah, so this
instead of taking a decent pay cut for being a shitty person or being poor at like leading your
your company.
company. They're just going to lay off a couple hundred people.
Yeah. It seems like Jason Schreier has been hearing that it might happen before Tuesday, which would be their quarterly earnings call.
That sounds about right. Jason Schreier's rarely wrong, too.
Bloomberg's reporting that layoffs would take place on Tuesday, a number in the hundreds, as Brian just said. And yeah, so Bobby Kotick, CEO, whose salary in 2017 was roughly $28.6 million, probably still making more than that while everybody else gets fired. But yeah, no, and then I guess in December they killed that Heroes of the Storm esports program.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they cut down the development team there. Like, I don't know, they're just not having a good time. Black Ops 4 was successful, but they lost Destiny 2. So, yeah, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, Forsaken didn't sell as much as they wanted,
yeah,
which was probably still a lot, though.
yeah.
But, you know.
No, it seems like they are going to, it's hard to think, oh man, Activision's in trouble because they're such a giant and they have Blizzard.
Yeah.
But who knows? Like, it's not like, I mean, I'm sure World of Warcraft is doing great and still bringing in money. People still playing Diablo 3, and you got people playing StarCraft, and they got the World of Warcraft vanilla coming out, like
Yeah,
Overwatch.
I don't have any. I'm sure Blizzard will be fine, but who knows?
It sucks for all the people that are losing their jobs, and
Yeah.
hopefully they land somewhere that is going to treat them better than
Yeah,
Activision.
from what I understand, like the software development industry is pretty good about reaching out and like trying to get people jobs.
Yeah, usually
But,
that seems like.
I mean,
that's the
obviously
case.
not everyone's going to be that lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see.
Yeah, it's just another story in the long line of people like Telltale not really planning on downsizing things properly and kind of screwing things up that way. But yeah, John, this last one's you.
Anthem's update roadmap outline plus BioWare shares endgame details. So they did have they released a bunch of info about the endgame stuff. So pilot level is 30. That's the game's level cap. And once you get to there, it unlocks 3 different difficulty modes: Grandmaster 1, 2, and 3. The higher you set your difficulty, the better chance you have to score rare gear and cosmetic items. And then they have different objective types like challenges, contracts, and strongholds. And You'll get better gear and bigger shit as you progress through those. They did also have put up some form of schedule if you scroll down in this article, so you can see, or maybe it's in the images. Yeah, right
Calendar
there.
of events?
Yeah. So the first release is in March. So called Act 1 Echoes of Reality. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's got cool artwork. There's cool artwork all around, actually.
Ongoing narrative. I like that idea.
So
they did that with Forsaken this
Yeah.
time, and it worked really well.
Yeah.
It made things feel way less like repetitive.
Leading into new
Week to
DLC
week.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I just gave away all 3 of my codes for Sea of Thieves
Okay.
to people that
Oh,
we
cool.
know. But
So we have 6 more maybe.
we're going to play Tuesday night for sure.
I could do that.
Gladish is available Tuesday night to play, so let's do that.
I think I can make that
I
happen.
can probably do Wild West Wednesday this week as well.
Cool.
Should
Alright.
be great.
All right, anyways, yeah, so everybody's concerned with Anthem not having much going on. I think there's a lot of cool shit that's going to happen. So I think we should get excited for this game. I really want to be excited for this game. I want other people to be excited for this game.
Yeah, so it says within Act 1, starting March 2019, you're gonna get new events, quality of life improvements, new rewards, expanded progression system, new stronghold, guilds and leaderboards, new missions, and the Cataclysm.
Like, Guilds makes me think that we can have our own clan,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
which is cool.
And the Cataclysm maybe sounding like a raid type thing,
Yeah, probably.
raid level kind
I'm
of
sure
deal.
they'll have that type
Yeah.
of event.
Yeah, and Stronghold seems like the Strike parallel, right?
Yeah, something
from what
like
was
that.
in
yeah,
there, from when we
strongholds
played
are
that
like
on the
strikes,
demo.
basically.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I just like I'm really excited. I'm more excited for Anthem than anything at this point. And I know a lot of people are like really, they're just
skeptical of
skeptical
EA.
of this, of the game in general and EA and who they are and everything, but I think you have to give them a little bit of faith in the sense that they've been watching other games of this type fail for the past like 3 years. They have to have learned something.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope so, because that means
I'm sorry,
if they
fail and be reborn.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
or-
they've failed, but they've gone through growing pains, and yeah, they've learned from that. I'm sure.
I just watched an episode of Home Improvement where the oldest brother Brad got in trouble for for having some weed, and
Oh, no.
and at the end of the episode, Jill is basically just like, Brad's getting off easy because you guys have the ability to learn from his mistakes. So Anthem, Destiny, and Division and those games might have been getting off easy, but Anthem is going to be
Brad.
the one. No, Anthem is the younger kids.
Oh, I'm
Anthem
sorry.
is the one that has the ability to learn from the mistakes of all of these other games.
Which is why I'm giving it that bit of faith. I didn't necessarily want to spend the $100 on Premium Origin, but I did, and I'm giving it faith. And the thing is, if it's that awesome, I know people who don't have PCs and want to play this game. I will buy it on PlayStation to play with you if it is that awesome.
And it just means that if they don't capitalize on the time that they've taken to make this game, if they don't improve on those things that were bad in the other games, that means they'll get judged that much harder by everybody else.
Everyone shit all over the beta because of the fact that, I'm sorry, it's not even a beta, it was a demo. They shit all over the demo, not knowing that the demo is literally 6 full updates behind the final, what it was currently the final release. And at this point, it's probably closer to like 10 updates that it was behind, is my guess. Because they've been updating this shit constantly to get it ready for launch. So I don't know. I'm giving them faith. I want this game to be great, and I think it will be, and I hope people give it a shot.
Yeah.
Great.
No,
So-
I hope it's good. We'll see Friday.
Cool.
Speaking of shitting on things, I guess we should move on to Apex Legends and the Division 2 beta, right?
I'm not going to shit on any of this stuff.
We'll see.
I
All right.
promise. I promise right now, you have my word. I will not overly shit on either of these two
Overly.
things.
Only a moderate to
Because
shitting.
I was told this weekend that I shit on games way too hard. Specifically, like 2 games that I
Destiny?
shit on. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and this one.
I wonder who told you that.
Yeah, anyways. So I was told I sometimes, I don't remember the word he used, but
You're just like all the YouTubers out there.
he
that,
or she.
that this person is forced to watch.
yeah. Anyways, let's talk about Apex Legends. let's talk about that. So I will start. Apex Legends is a battle royale game made by Respawn, who did Titanfall and Titanfall 2. It is squads of 3, and you
20
play
squads of 3.
20 squads of 3, 60 players total.
This game was announced Monday and released Monday.
Yes, and it is basically what I would consider some form of PUBG meets Overwatch sort of setup.
That's a pretty good assessment.
The best way that I can put it. You have characters who have abilities that give them some form of tactical advantage if utilized properly during gameplay, but all in all, it is a standard battle royale in that you drop in a specific point, you collect items to make yourself more useful, and you try to be the last man standing.
You can get loot boxes that give you cosmetics for your characters and different things
they
like
look
that.
almost exactly like Overwatch
You
boxes
accrue
when they
credits
fall down.
that you can spend on loot boxes or on new characters that they're
Just
going to
like
be releasing
Overwatch.
throughout. Doesn't everybody get like Bastion and them for free? You don't have to pay for characters,
Well,
right?
the character thing, that's new. But I mean, like, you can get currency from the loot boxes
Yes.
in that
Yes.
to spend on items.
But when
But
you're
everything is cosmetic. There's no pay to win here.
well, you do have to pay for new characters.
But that's not going
You
to
don't-
give you necessarily a distinct advantage, is my point.
I don't know yet. I don't know. Like there's 2 characters right now that you have to pay for, right?
Yeah.
Out of the 8 that they have released.
But you can
But-
you can buy those with the currency you can earn in game.
Yeah, and you get like 600 every level, and you need 12,000 for a character.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long.
You have to. What is that? 20 levels?
It's
I don't know.
comparable to like Rainbow Six, except I would say it's not going to take as long as it takes to
Yeah.
unlock an
And
operator in
obviously,
Rainbow Six.
they will balance the legends or the characters as they're known, so nobody's supposed to have a distinct advantage over another. But what if you play in a squad of people that have like 4 of the characters that have come out since the game's launch, and who knows?
I guess
anyway.
only time will tell with that, I guess.
Yeah.
Graphically, it looks really good. It runs really smoothly. I don't have the most epic, awesome PC in the world, and it looks great on my computer. It runs great. I was getting a consistent at least 144 frames, I want to say.
This is free through Origin,
Yes,
by the way.
free through Origin. If you have Origin Premium, you get a couple extra weapon skins, I believe, and also 1,000 of the premium credits, so you can buy one of the additional characters that's currently locked.
No.
Yes.
It's not enough.
Yeah, it is.
1,000?
1,000 of
it's the premium currency.
premium one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think a character costs either
It's
6
like
or
650.
800.
I think it was
Okay.
650 because
Okay.
I think I ended up with
I'll probably buy one of those.
or
I just
750.
am not
maybe.
sure
I
which
don't
one
remember.
yet.
This is also on PS4 and Xbox for free
Yes.
as well. So
Yes.
And they are anticipating crossplay,
at some point, yeah.
not cross like
Not cross progression.
yeah, cross progression no, but crossplay yes. So let's get into the thick of it. The gunplay is great. It feels really good. The movement is awesome. The sprinting and sliding is really cool. Your abilities are pretty rad. Mirage, for instance, has the ability to create decoys to throw people off your trail, or if you get killed and downed, he will release a decoy that people will shoot at instead of you, hopefully. So
Yeah.
it gives you a chance to try and get away. I'm trying to remember the
I don't know
different
the
characters'
names of
names.
anybody.
Yeah, I only play as Mirage because he was the premium one that I unlocked. But
So we should say you said everybody has abilities, but everybody has one passive ability, one like character class ability, and then one ultimate ability
Right.
that builds up over time in the match.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
as it is Battle Royale, the ring shrinks throughout the match, so everybody gets concentrated into certain parts of the map. And it's a very tight controlling game,
yes,
which is awesome.
Gladish says the aiming sucks, which I'm thinking he thinks the aiming sucks because it was sticky aim, but which you can toggle off. So when you aim down sights, you press the button once to aim down sights. You press it again to stop aiming down sights. You can turn that off, so it's more like Rainbow Six, where you can hold it to aim.
Yep.
And vice versa.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't understand the aiming sucks thing.
Yeah, well, I asked him to clarify in the chat, but beyond that, overall, it is a very well put together game that has been released for free by a pretty substantial studio that has made a very good name of itself.
It's very obvious they really thought about what was wrong with a lot of the other Battle Royale games and improved upon it,
Yes.
too.
The idea that someone in your squad is deemed the jump master and you can just follow their lead to land in a similar
automatically.
place.
You can choose to, or you can release from them and go
Yes.
off on your own thing,
But
which is cool.
that's fucking great, because I honestly feel like, specifically for some reason, Call of Duty Blackout, the number one reason I lose within the first couple minutes is not being able to follow my squad mates properly when I jump, and that kind of ruins everything.
Yeah.
And that's not a problem with this game, because I can just leave it on autopilot, let the jump master deal with it.
I mean, autopilot's a good term to utilize for a lot of different aspects of this game, especially like the pinging system. Like if you can ping people or areas like with your mouse. So like if you spot an enemy, you can ping them with your mouse, and the game will tell your teammates that you have spotted someone. Like your character speaks out loud as things are happening.
Yeah, and it changes the reticle too.
Right, so you don't necessarily have to use voice chat, because a lot of times people play online, but they don't want to talk to other people. So this game kind of does the talking for you.
Yeah, it goes one step further too, and you can also hold the ping button down, and it brings up a radio menu, and you can like manually pick different types of pings.
That's cool. I didn't
can
know.
also-
Like if you want to ping an area, be like, I'm gonna loot this area. You can ping it, and it'll say that.
That's cool.
You can also ping loot items to tell somebody, oh, there's a 6x scope over here. I know you have a sniper rifle. Come and get it. That kind of thing.
That seems like such a simple thing, but that right there like makes this game so much easier to play with random people than any other game. Period. I think I've played.
Right. Because it allows you to stay focused on the game, and you don't have to like stop for a second and try to figure out how to describe to your teammate which building you're in or anything like that. You look at your compass or whatever. Like you can literally just ping something. They can see the ping pop up and spin to where it is and go to it, and it's a done deal. This game does a lot of things really, really well.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about it is that it's a battle royale game. I don't like battle royale games.
Yeah.
That's the only way I'm going to shit on this game, is I just don't like them. I don't think they take a ton of skill, other than like it's all chance in where you drop, what weapons you pick up, and that's
you
it.
get to pick where you drop.
I know you get to pick where you drop, but you're playing.
Which weapons you find is chance.
Yes.
But you can put yourself in a position to where you will get weapons before someone else, and then hopefully, I mean, these things take practice, but I mean, I disagree that there's no skill involved. There's definitely a skill involved in these types of
It's
games.
very minimal.
But is there luck involved as well? Yes.
100%.
It's not just a pure luck game, though. This is not a casino game.
There's loot boxes, though.
Fair enough.
You walked into that one.
I can hear that coming out of John's mouth before I finish my sentence.
No, I agree with John a lot. I think it's a very well-designed game. It's the best battle royale that I've played as somebody who didn't play Blackout, but it's a big name publisher throwing a lot of money behind a project, and it's very slick. It plays
And then
great.
giving it away.
I mean,
it feels great.
Even PlayerUnknown came out on Twitter and said congratulations on to Respawn for releasing Apex, a very polished, clean, blah blah blah. Like kind of just was sitting there brown nosing Respawn, and Respawn came back and said, "We stand on the shoulder of giants." Like, how respectable of an interaction could you possibly have? Like,
well, it's good. It's good to know that PlayerUnknown has gotten there after being like, "I'm gonna sue Fortnite for stealing my shit."
Yeah.
Well, I think he realizes that you can't. It'd be like Tetris suing Puyo Puyo, like before they decided to just band together and make one
Dr.
game.
Mario.
Yeah,
it's
columns.
I don't know. It's just it took him like 7 different battle royales coming out to get to the point where he's like, I need to congratulate these people because
I
could
can't
be a
believe
bigger
it's taken
human.
this many to get so many things right. Is my shock. Like,
Well,
I thought Blackout's very polished and
Blackout's
nice.
extremely polished.
But I have, for whatever reason, I have weird lag issues in that game that I didn't even have with PUBG, and that kind of kills it for me.
And that's the thing. The polish on this game is so far above what I remember of PUBG and what I know from Fortnite. Like, literally nothing feels as good as this game in battle royale games that I've touched.
Yeah.
Like it's.
I mean, it really
incredible.
it feels like it's fluid and snappy like Titanfall was. But I mean, obviously there's no wall running and stuff like that. There's some cool other mechanics though, like the one. I love the classes. The classes are cool. That adds like a good like element of variety that will keep this game fresh longer, I think, in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because I've only tried out 2 of them, and I like those 2 so much that I haven't even touched the other ones yet.
Yeah.
Like the one that you were playing that tracks people and stuff.
Yep.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then there's the like I was playing the Chappie. I mean, I'm sorry, like I don't know his name. He looks like
Pathfinder, I believe is his name. He's a robot that looks a lot like Chappie.
Yeah, one of his like passive abilities is he can hack these little like radar turret or radar terminals on top of buildings, and it'll tell you where the next circle's going to be.
Yeah, the interplay between the characters with like how you can complement how each other works. You've got another girl who can use her class ability to call down a cache that has like more items in it, like 3 items in it. You can there's at least 2 different people that have different types of like big artillery like drop like fires that you can do. Like either a very guided one or one that kind of progresses across the field.
Then there's the tracker guy who can like track enemy footsteps. His passive ability is he can see warm footsteps, like recent areas, and his active ability that you have to activate is he can see colder footsteps to detect people that are further away at that point.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one? I can't remember her name. Is Wraith? Yeah, it's Wraith has the ability to make portals, which is extremely helpful in a firefight where, like, when we were playing with Corey, he would create a portal to zip us out of there if we had to, if we needed to get out of a firefight. And that was extremely effective. Like, these abilities were, like, very well thought out.
Yeah, the character I was playing could make zip lines and had a grappling hook, which was really cool.
I've also gotten more kills in this battle royale than any, and that's like 6 kills total, I think, between the 2.
It is definitely a smaller map,
and it
but
forces
it's probably
more interaction.
one of the best maps because it has more variety and more verticality to it than what I'm used to.
I don't think I've made it to a single instance where the circle shrank because as soon as I drop, I'm dead. So it's like my parachute doesn't work and I just face plant on the pavement and die.
I was complaining the other day about how it didn't feel like I liked about PUBG that you could drop somewhere that it felt like nobody was. Yeah. And in this game, it doesn't feel so much that way. But then as soon as I said that, I got into a match with Corey and a rando of some kind too. We dropped in like the far end of the map, and there was literally nobody there until we got closer. But then there were like 3 other squads on top of us. Because it was like 2 rings in, I think.
Yeah.
So, no, I think it's very good. It's a very high quality game for the fact that it's free, and I think that's awesome. It's cool that this is now a thing that's out there that people are doing.
I guess mechanically, the other thing worth mentioning would be the respawn thing. Because none of the Battle Royale games let you respawn, but this one does.
Yeah, not just if you get knocked. If you get knocked, you can get revived. If you get knocked and somebody kills you, though, your teammate can collect your banner and respawn you. Which is
you have to go to a terminal,
rad.
And it takes a little bit of time, so you kind of have to plan for it. But
and you
I did it
again.
successfully before. I was playing with randos. They both died right in the beginning, and I didn't. I wiped the squad that took them out, and then I carried them with me halfway across the map.
It's interesting because
we did pretty well.
It makes you want to continue spectating after, because that's never a thing. Like in PUBG, obviously if your squad is around, you might want to watch. Like if you're playing with friends, but if you were playing with randos, you're gone. However, in this game, the idea that you could be respawned at some point kind of makes you invest into the match a little bit more, which is cool. So,
yeah. Gladish says he enjoys Fear the Wolves more than Apex, even though Fear the Wolves definitely needs more time.
He's literally the only person I know that's talked about.
I didn't even know that
I didn't know it existed until I saw
him
playing, and I was like, "Is this actually a game?"
He mentioned that it was free or whatever, free to try at some point
last week, I think.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool," and then I never checked it out. But I have not heard anybody else talking about it. And
I'd be interested in trying it out and just seeing what's what.
Yeah.
So, so Corey, suck it. I didn't shit on the game as hard as you thought I would, and you can go fuck yourself. Because, like I said, the only thing I don't like about it is it's Battle Royale. I'm just not a fan of that gameplay.
Yeah, and you're totally allowed to like or dislike a game. That's the thing, is that if you shit on something, you don't have to, if people shit on a game that you like, then that's one person shitting on the game that you like. It doesn't mean that you can't like it.
And I told Corey, I was like, if you played more than just 3 games, I wouldn't have to shit on 2/3 of them. So I think that's also a valid response.
Well, and then to say something like Corey, the man who has played the most Destiny out of everybody in the world, has said like this game, he feels this game pulling him more like as much as Destiny did when it
That's
was
pretty
newer,
impressive.
which is pretty crazy for somebody to say, but for somebody for
Well,
him to say that.
There's a pretty hard push for them to bring back 3v3 Elim trials in Destiny right now, and I think that would actually get me back into Destiny.
I liked that mode a lot.
There is a huge push for that right now. So
It just works better than, for some reason 4v4 just feels like a bunch of people standing on opposite sides of the map shooting at each other.
yeah,
And 3v3, like there's more movement involved.
People coordinating and
Yeah.
doing something. Yeah.
It's
So-
faster.
but
I
yeah.
would be all about that too. But I also haven't given up on Destiny, and I still like playing it. I just haven't had a chance to play it this week.
Gladish says that Fear the Wolves is still free to play until Tuesday if you want to check it out, and the PvE stuff is really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to give it a try.
Yeah. All right, let's hit the Division 2 beta. So the Division 2 beta opened up this weekend. It had 2 main story missions playable in normal and hard, 5 side missions and other activities in the open world. 1 out of 3 dark zones were playable. There's PvP in conflict mode. The skirmish mode type is available, and 1 invaded mission, which is endgame content, and a level cap of 30 with the new survivalist, sharpshooter, and demolitionist specializations. I haven't done any of that endgame stuff. I have currently only played the story missions and a couple of the side missions, and it's the Division. It feels like the Division did. I would say that graphically it looks better than the first game, especially because I do have the first one on PC and I can vouch for that.
Did you ever switch to DirectX 12?
I did not.
So I
make
do
that
feel
switch.
like it looks actually better that way too.
Maybe I'll test that out. The gunplay feels very much the same, but the guns themselves feel better. I don't know how to explain it other than
I was reading about that actually, and it just sounds like they put more thought into like the variety of weapons available and how they feel.
Yeah, like I really liked using the semi-automatic rifles that I had. Those like seemed to work really well. They were powerful yet not like overpowered. I did end up at some point picking up a like a marksman's rifle, which seemed like ridiculous the amount of damage it was doing.
Yeah.
I do really like the way enemies don't feel like bullet sponges anymore. I feel like the critical hits to the headshots seem to do more damage, which is nice. The armored enemies are really cool. Having to ping off their armor to expose them and then be able to do more damage to them is really cool. But yeah, all in all, it feels like a logical progression in the Division storyline, and it seems really like I'm into it. Like I think it's cool. I'm excited for this, but not as much as Anthem, but I'm still excited for this.
I feel like I was more excited for this before I played the beta. I didn't play it that much, but I spent most of the time being frustrated that like I was really hyped about playing it on PC.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate the PC controls.
Yeah.
Like they're
the stickiness
mostly
of them.
just the menus. They just don't make any sense.
Yeah, you have to double click stuff
like
in a menu.
Yeah, I mean
I do.
that doesn't make any sense.
No.
So the first
I
night,
thought my mouse wasn't working
Yeah,
right.
me
And I was
too.
like, oh, you just have to some things you have to double click. Other things you have to hit spacebar, and other things you have to hold F.
It's a nightmare.
Like what? Like
yeah. So anyways,
Ubisoft has made a lot of menus and good menus. Like the Division had they had a great UI. Like when
but
I
you
played it on
with
Xbox.
a controller on Xbox.
Yeah,
I put my Xbox controller hooked back up for this. Seems to work perfectly well.
Yeah. I
might
ended
do
up
that.
I ended up doing that too, and I had a lot less complaints about the game. It still sucks that I can't use my PlayStation controller with this either. Like I don't know why that's a thing right now.
Because you need the dongle
I have the dongle.
and it's not working.
No, it
Weird.
wouldn't work wired either. So
Huh.
I could only I can plug in my 360 controller,
Is there some
my
weird,
wireless 360
some
controller,
weird
and use it.
software you need to install or something?
There shouldn't be. I mean, everything on Steam just supports it outright, and
Yeah.
I don't understand why that's not ubiquitous now. Like it should be. Ubisoft, use some your ubiquitous software, but
Yeah. We weren't allowed to use the full character creator this time around. It was all randomized, and I ended up with the coolest looking dude in
He's
the world.
pretty cool.
He's just
My guy
it's like,
just looks like a trashy hipster guy.
yeah, mine's like Sam Jackson and Owen Wilson had a baby, and he grew up and grew a sweet Fu Manchu.
Yeah, pretty much.
He looks amazing.
I hope they actually have a real character editor.
Yeah, me too. I don't want to just randomize it because I don't think I'll. If,
I mean,
if it's
the
random,
randomization was really good.
I don't
but
think I'll end up with as awesome of a looking person as I have now if it is random. In
I
the
mean,
actual
I love
game.
character creators, though.
Me too. I'll spend 2 hours in the character creator.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't. I love I randomize and then go.
Yeah. Alex, you had complained about the stickiness of the controls at some point, right? Like the cover system, or no?
I mean, I don't love cover shooters that much, but it didn't bother me too much. I mean, I had to get used to it a little bit in order to navigate the
world.
the world better, especially when you're in contact. You're trying to fight people. Like,
Yeah.
it's really hard for me. Like, oh, I accidentally hit the button to make me leap over this thing rather than move to a different one.
Well,
Like,
okay, so in the controls, you can tweak a lot of that stuff.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
didn't spend
One
a
of
lot
the
time
main
doing
ones
that.
that I tweaked was I turned on parkour mode.
You did that? Okay, I
Yes.
did that by default, and all it made me do was constantly jump over cover when I was trying to get to cover. And
Yeah,
hide
well,
behind
that's
it.
what that does. But the thing is, so if you're sprinting in parkour mode, you will automatically jump over low obstacles.
That's sweet. So
It's
it turns it into
fucking
like
awesome.
Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed-ish.
Now, if you are sprinting and you're approaching something, as you're approaching it, if you tap A, he'll just cover to it instead of
Okay.
hopping over it. So you kind of have to alter
Well, I
the way
kept
you
screwing
play.
that up. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
do
it-
have to alter it.
It works really well, and
That's cool.
it was just so nice to be able to run and not have to worry about obstacles, because normally, like, if you're just sprinting and you're trying to get from A to B, you have to like dip around things or like utilize the jump mechanic, which causes you have to like hold down B in order to like jump over stuff. This just does it for you
Yeah,
automatically.
that's cool.
It was perfect. So,
I had some real weird bugginess.
I had some awesome bugs, man.
So, like, the first mission, you're basically trying to get up to, like, right when you load in, you're trying to get up to the White House, and there's this big area of enemies to kill. And I did that once, and then I got in, and because it's a beta, I ended up getting kicked because of, like, a connection issue or something. So then I came back in, and I had to start that over again, which, okay, fine, whatever. It didn't take that long. But then I made it all the way back to that big open area where you have to kill a bunch of people, and like the gate that was originally downed was just up, and I couldn't fight the people. There was no way for me to fight anybody.
You needed to enter another beta code to unlock
So
it.
then I tried it again.
Did
I
you climb a
restarted.
tower and use Eagle Vision?
No, I couldn't. I didn't. I
okay.
couldn't find the tower. But
Did you hide in a haystack? Maybe wait for them to open the gate?
yeah, I couldn't do that either. But so then I reloaded, tried it again, had the exact same thing happen. I actually had to delete my character and then try it one more time, and it finally let me get through.
Interesting.
So that was just kind of weird. And also it was kind of weird that like the first time I went through that mission, it was nighttime, but every other time I tried it, it was daytime. So I don't know if they had
Maybe
weird
that's
stuff
why the
going
gate
on.
wouldn't open.
Well, it was nighttime and the gate was open, and then every other time was daytime.
Yeah, they closed the gate during the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
I had this awesome bug. I was running through the world and I found like it, much like the original Division, you find like cell phones and things to get like lore content and everything like that. So I get the ping that says like, oh, there's a device nearby. Go over to the device, check it, get the cell phone thing going. And then I was like, oh, I forgot where I was headed. So then I pulled up the map. I was standing on a piece of scaffolding, and there was a bunch of paint cans and stuff laying all over the scaffolding. And when I went into the map, and the way the map works is it kind of like the camera like pans over the top of your character, and the map springs up from the bottom. And basically found out where I was going, and when I got rid of the map, I think what had happened was the map system actually physically pushed all of the paint cans up into the air. And so when I collapsed the map, a whole bunch of paint cans rained down on top of me out of nowhere. And it scared the shit out of me because I was like, where the fuck did those come from? And then I realized, like, oh, it must have been the map system that did that.
That's wild.
It was pretty crazy, but it was really funny to see happen. I haven't checked out the Dark Zone yet. I want to do that. I want to try this the conflict mode skirmish and do the end game thing.
this is live till Wednesday, Thursday. I thought it was live for like a week, right?
Tomorrow? Today?
I can look it up.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I've got something pulled up here, but I don't remember if it tells you exactly how long it lasts. But, yeah, I mean, if you like the Division,
Oh no, it was Thursday the 7th through Monday the 11th, so through tomorrow.
if you like the Division, you will most likely like this game as well. I think, based off the beta, because it just feels like a lot of the same, but not in a bad way. So if it's something where you wanted to expand on the story of the Division 1, then you have that now. There are also, like, it seemed like factions, and there's like different like ways to, you're building up different settlements and things in the city, helping out different people survive, blah blah blah.
Yeah, there
So-
seems to be a lot more people living in the city.
Yeah, it
Whereas,
feels
like-
more lived in.
Yeah, it was more abandoned and
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Quarantined
over time,
properly
people have
the first
probably
time.
grouped up more, and
Yeah.
you know, makes sense.
And one of the things somebody pointed out when online is when you're in the menu, like loading into the game, it'll flip through the stats of like the different gear that you're wearing, and it'll tell you like how many people you've killed using a specific gun, or for your gloves, because everyone's wearing gloves, it'll tell you how many car doors you've closed, like shit like that. So it picks
Interesting.
up little minute stats like that you don't necessarily need to care about, but it's just interesting that they're tracking that information. So
I did have a little trouble with the bullet sponginess of people because I didn't play through the first
Well,
game
I
that
mean,
much, and it just kind of felt really weird until I got the marksman rifle and could basically headshot people in one kill.
it definitely
But-
seems weird because they are people.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the thing.
no,
Like
and
if you encounter something like that in Destiny, they're aliens, and
yes, and that
it doesn't
you can put
suspend
like
your
even in,
disbelief as
even in
much, or-
Anthem, like it makes sense to me. I can
Yeah.
put more bullets into something like that, but when it is actual humans and you hit them in the head with a gun and they don't die immediately, it's kind of like, but that's
Well,
kind of like
they're
it's
superhumans.
and it's the sort of thing
the
you,
name Tom Clancy used to mean something in video games, and
yeah,
now it doesn't
it's
anymore.
definitely jarring coming from.
I
want
to go back to the days of Tom Clancy's Hawks, when you fly the space plane realistically. But no, it felt a little bit weird, but I kind of
again, it's that idea that like this game is not a shooter as much as it is an RPG,
and that's fine.
But I understand that it would be jarring again coming from like Rainbow Six or
Yeah.
something where like you have like instant
Yeah.
kills, or like that's the thing is like Ghost Recon Wildlands is pretty much Rainbow Six meets
It's
the Division.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
get the one shot kills
Yes.
in everything that you would get from Rainbow Six, but it's in the Division style gameplay, which is
Mhm.
kind of cool. And so you have that, but this is a little more. This game, again, the first one even like they catered more towards the RPG crowd than it did the shooter crowd.
And
And
it
I
ma-
think
that-
people who wanted a shooter were the ones who were mostly disappointed, and that's fine. Like it's not for everyone, just like any game is not for everyone. But
like
the-
battle royale.
yeah, like battle royale games are not for everyone. Clearly not for everyone because they're awful. But
No, it makes sense. I get the game design of it, but there is a just some type of psychological block to me where it doesn't quite equate, and I get that too. So if that's something that might bother you, it might be kind of weird to do, but it's still worth a try. And the other thing is, I don't know that I want this and Anthem a month away from each other. They feel
That can be
very,
a bit
very
much.
samey to me, and so I think, honestly, if I'm gonna try one, I'm gonna go with Anthem because it is the heavier sci-fi of the two. But
and you fly.
that too, yeah.
I mean, I will be playing both of them on launch, and I can, as of right now, I definitely see myself wanting to put more time into Anthem, but much like the Division, I will want to come back to it.
Yeah, and
So-
you're gonna get to a point where you run out of stuff to do anyway. That's how,
Right,
like,
yeah.
you're not, unless you're gonna be going through and grinding out loot, which you might do a little bit of. You're gonna get to the point where like you run out of stuff to do. So if I love Anthem and I really adhere to the third-person shooter MMO-ish game, then I might be like, okay, I want the Division because I can. There's it's more of that to sink my teeth into.
Yeah.
But if I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm going to play through this because it's the thing that's out right now, I don't know that I'm going to be like, all right, I'm ready for the Division on March 15th.
I mean, there's
so.
definitely other things coming out too
Yeah.
that we're gonna want to play.
Yeah.
Like more Rainbow Six.
Mhm.
When
Yeah, Destiny 2.
yeah, Destiny 2 actually the new season with the new DLC I think will probably start within the next
This is the
month or
second
two.
pack of the season pass.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, that's one thing we didn't talk about in the news is that the season 4 or year 4 operators for Rainbow Six were announced.
Yeah, they
and
were
released.
teased, and there's like a full reveal later this week at the France finals or something. Like, I don't know, some European finals somewhere.
It's the Siege Invitationals
Hmm.
are going on.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and if you haven't played the new mode in Siege that they've released for the Siege Invitationals, you should definitely do it because it's exactly what they're doing in Pro League right now.
Yeah.
Gives you a taste of Pro League, which is really cool.
Cool.
So, yeah. So that's pretty much it, I
Alright.
guess. I think the next thing we will be covering is most likely going to be the final release of Anthem.
Yeah.
As it comes out this week.
I'll probably fart around in Crackdown for a minute, or watch a few minutes of the movie and then tune in to find out my thoughts on if it's a real video
Yeah.
game or not.
So
Yeah, I mean, if I have access to it on PC, then I will try it too, for sure.
I heard they actually split the multiplayer and the single player into two different like launchers too, which is interesting. Like you can launch them individually, which is kind of a cool idea that like more games should maybe do. But
Okay.
yeah, so get pumped for that. In the meantime, if you want to follow us on social media or see other places you can listen to or watch a show, check out MidwestGameNerds.com/links. The Midwest Podcast Network now has a Patreon. The Patreon is meant to benefit all the shows on the network. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month and help us keep our shows alive and well. Check it out at mpn.biz/Patreon.
nope, not Biz. BZ.
BZ.
mpn.bz/Patreon.
Yeah, that one. Thanks again to Jason K and Gojo for their contributions. And Alan, too, even though I think his contribution isn't there for some reason. But
no,
it
that's
was.
fine. It's cool.
We're cool.
It was
it's all
fun.
good. And as always, we do appreciate your feedback, which you can send to at MidwestGameNerds@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on Twitch, as well as rate and review us on your favorite podcatcher. Look forward to that Anthem episode in the next 2 weeks here. And we'll see you next time. Peace.